Okay, so today we're going to be painting this piece. I don't actually have a name for it just yet. This was a custom piece for an event that we did for Black History Month. So I don't quite have a name for it. I'm definitely open to suggestions you can leave in the comments below. But yeah, we're just going to get started on this. So this piece is part of a kit that comes with 6 different colors. You've got red, yellow, blue, white, black, and brown. So all those colors will come in your kit. Your kit will also come with paintbrushes standard, and everything you need to get this piece done. So as I go through and explain the instructions for this piece, I will show you the paints and what I'm doing with those paints, and that way you'll have a good idea of, how to paint the piece. So let's get started. I'm going to start with my large brush here. That's this one. Yours may look different if you purchased a kit for me or if you chose to buy supplies elsewhere. But yeah, we're gonna start here, and I'm going to start actually, just give me one quick second here. I'm gonna start this brush and a brown wash. That's gonna be my first steps to create this piece. So here's my brown paint here, just bringing it into the camera. I'm gonna go in, and open that. I'm gonna go in to the brown paint, just scoop a little bit out on this brush. Again, not very much. I'm gonna put that on my palette, which is gonna be our foam plate here. I'm going to add water to this to thin it out to make it a wash. Again, just thinning it out with water, creating a wash. Add some more water to that, make it even thinner. There we go. All right, now I'm going to start in the upper right corner here, and I'm just going to adjust this camera a little bit so that you can see what I'm doing. There we go. Start in the upper right corner, just doing some quick strokes, up and down, sideways, and we're just kind of contouring around her scarf that she has on her head here. So just up and down, just putting some tone down here. Now I'm gonna go actually into her face with a little bit of tone. Actually, no, before I do that, let me go above the shoulder. I'm gonna show you that. I'm gonna move the camera down just a bit. To the shoulder area. And above the shoulder, we've got a little bit of wash here. All right. Now we're just gonna put some in the face. Let's adjust the camera back up. You can see the face there. All right. Give me 1 second. I'm just gonna add some more water to my wash. It's getting a little dry on me. And I'm going to go under the scarf over her forehead. I'm trying not to let it run. I got it kind of wet, really wet in fact. Try not to let it run here. And come around this side of her face and bring the wash down there. Gonna bring the wash down on her nose, just on the sides a bit. Bring the wash over here, under the eyebrow over there, under the eyebrow over here. Bring it down some there. We've got a little bit of wash going on over here. There we go. Got some going down under the chin. Got a little bit right here with the nose, going around, just defining that a little bit. Got a little bit more over here under the chin. All right. Got a little bit over here. Okay, so we're good with the wash on her face for now. So we're gonna get some more wash, still using the brown wash, still using the large brush. Again, just adding more water to my wash here. Just adding a little bit more, just keeping it nice and thin. It's okay if it's a little bit runny. at this point in the game. All right, now I'm going to put some of this wash down into her neck. Just in these areas that are white. Oh, you can't see me. Let me go. Let me angle the camera down. Over into her shoulder area. Here, I'm going to put some wash in here. Bring some light over here. There we go. So again, I'm going down here in the shoulder area. I'm actually going to pick up a little more wash. We're going to go over to the other shoulder. I'll show you that. So we got our brown wash down. Now we've got every area covered where we had our brown wash, where we needed it. All right, and now we're going to actually pick up some brown paint, or we're going to apply a coat of brown paint. So in order to do this, again, we're just going back. We're still using our large brush. We're just going back into the brown paint. We're scooping some out. Still not very much. And we're kind of adding it to the wash that we had on the plate. So I'm just going to thin it out a little bit. I don't want it so heavy on my brush. Now we're going to use this coat of paint here. This thin brown coat, not a wash, but a coat. And we're going to accent some areas in her face where it should be a little bit more brown. So we're going to start here in the forehead. She's got an area just like this across her forehead. You can bring that brown over here. Now she's got some of this coat of brown coming down like this. Coming right here in the eyebrow. Oh, you can't see me. Sorry about that. Going into the eyebrow. She's got some down here on the side. It's coming down. It's going like this. It's coming up to the nose. There we go. I'll make that a little smoother. There we go. All right, and then she's got a little bit under the chin. Got some on this side, just right there. All right, we're done with the coat on this area of her face for now. So it's pretty simple. Now we're gonna go down into the neck. Again, we're using the coat that we have already kind of mixed up on the plate there. All right, now I'm not going to cover, again, all the area where I put the wash, just part of it. I am going to cover up, however, this black area. I'm not going to try to get rid of the black, but I do want to have some of this brown coming over it. It just kind of gives it a richness. All right. So you can see that area pretty good. Let's go down and into her right shoulder. I guess it would be her left, but on our right side of the canvas. Let's bring some paint there. Let's bring some paint up here, some coat. And it's starting to get dry on my brush. Gonna load it back up. All right, so I'm also bringing it down here. Just angling the camera so you can see a little better. Then bring some in here. There we we go. And again, I'm bringing it up over the black just to create that depth. There we go. It doesn't have to completely engulf the black from the stencil, but we do want to cover it a little bit. Alright, so now I'm going to move the camera over here to what would be her right shoulder, but on the left side of the canvas. I'm going to bring some of this in over here. There we go. Bring it in just like that. All right. Now we've got our coat of brown down on everywhere except this upper corner here. Trying to get you focused on that. There we go. And we're going to take some of this brown and we're going to go over that area just to make it a little darker. A little more defined and fleshed out. Oops, I went over kind of far there. All right. There we go. Okay, so now we've got the browns down and we can rinse this large brush out that we have here. Put you more center. We're gonna rinse this brush out that we have here. And then we're gonna go into the pink actually. I think that'll be our best bet. So we'll go into the pink and then, because the pink is kind of quick, and then we'll do the blue. And then once we do the blue, we're almost done. Okay, so let me go ahead and rinse this out. So in order to rinse these brushes out really well, what I recommend is taking the brush, putting it in your water like this, and stirring it around at the bottom of the cup. Just stirring it around. You're actually pressing the bristles of the brush against the bottom of the cup and stirring in circular motion. And this really helps to free the bristles up from the pigment of the paint. So, all right. Then you can dab it off on your paper towel. And we're gonna go into the magenta color here. Mine is, I've used it before, so I'm kind of reusing paint here. It's got a little bit of blue in it, so don't mind that, we're not gonna worry about it. I'm just gonna pick up a little bit of that magenta color. Actually, yeah, that's kind of much. Okay, I just need a little bit because I'm gonna make a wash. So again, I'm gonna go to my plate, I'm gonna add water, and I'm going to make this a magenta wash. Just a moment to show you that. All right, now I am making my magenta wash. Have my plate going the long way so it's running. Yours shouldn't be running. Alrighty. Add a little bit more water. Still, yeah, that should be good. Okay, so I'm gonna start over here with this magenta wash. We're gonna be on the right side of the canvas. I'm gonna start over here, just putting in some strokes here with the wash. I got a lot of water on this brush, so if it's running on you, if you notice it running like this, you can just dab it off on your paper towel, get rid of the excess moisture. It'll give you a bit more control if it's not so moist or so wet. So we got some of this tone there. Now we're actually gonna put a little bit of this in her shoulder that's on the right side of the canvas here. So let's go down, put a little bit of this magenta right in here. There we go. And I'm gonna put a little bit in her face as well on the right side of the canvas. Just gonna put some right in here. There we go. And I'll put a little bit on her nose. So So she just has kind of a faint little wash of the magenta right there. And in her scarf, I actually kind of had a little bit of a hiccup here. In this area of her scarf, right here, we're actually gonna need some magenta paint. So I'm gonna just use the magenta straight. I'm not gonna dilute it with water. And I'm gonna go in that area. Actually, magenta and white, just a little bit of the white. So got some magenta on the brush, gonna put that on the plate. And now I'm just gonna pick up a little bit of the white. So I'm opening up my white. Again, this white mine was used before, but yours will be clean, your kit. I'm just gonna pick up some of this white and I'm gonna mix it in to the magenta I have here. I'm gonna get like a pinkish color, basically pink, hot pink. And I'm gonna go with this color. That looks pretty cool. All right, I'm gonna go with this color and I'm just gonna bring it right in up here. And this should be thick enough because we didn't add much water to it to cover this brown, even though that wasn't intentional. We should be able to cover the brown pretty good. That's a good color. Okay, so yeah, we covered up the brown pretty good with that magenta, and we got ourselves a good start going there. Okay, so with this magenta also, we can actually switch to a smaller brush. I recommend for you, if you're inexperienced, you go down to the smallest brush we have in your kit. If you're more experienced, maybe you could use the medium-sized brush. For me, I'm going to use the medium-sized brush, but I'm gonna actually scrape a little bit of paint off of here. I'm kind of being a miser with my paint. I don't want to make it stretch. And get a little bit also from the palette, our foam plate here. Alrighty, and I'm gonna go into the lips now. I'm actually gonna start to define these. So let's make sure you guys can see pretty good what I'm doing here. I'm gonna go over this because this is like her upper lip line here. So I'm hoping that you guys can see this well. It looks like you can. All right, so going over there, filling it in that way. And you can just kind of see how I do my strokes. I do like really short strokes because it gives me more control than a long stroke, especially in this tight area there. All right, so now I'm also gonna draw like a line for the bottom lip here. There we go. And I'm gonna start to fill in the bottom lip a little bit too. So you can just kind of follow along with what I'm doing here. There we go. And then I've got kind of like a line situation here. There we go. Alrighty, so now we got some lipstick on her. It looks good. It looks her lips look a little fuller. There's more dimension than what they had previously. And I think right now we are good. Wait, no, there's a little bit of this pink color on the nose, this magenta. There's a little bit more in the original. There we go. Alrighty, so I think we're good now with this pink. I'm gonna go ahead and rinse this brush out using the same technique that I told you before, where I'm just gonna stir it around at the bottom of the cup. All right, now that I'm done with the magenta, I'm actually gonna go with the blue now. Blue's gonna move pretty quickly too, so I think that I'm gonna work with my medium brush for the blue. Here's our blue here. This is actually phthalo blue, which is a really nice color here. There we go. I'm gonna open that up. We're gonna get some of that on the plate as well. We're doing a wash. With all these colors, we kind of do a wash first, so you just need a little bit. Just get like a little bit on your brush there. And then I'm gonna put this on my plate or my palette, and I'm gonna add water to make a wash. You can actually add a little bit of white. So here's my wash so far in the process. I'm going to add a little bit of white to this, because I want my blue to be a little bit lighter. So you can just add white right to your wash and kind of like stir it in. Always using circular motions. I always do my motions. I stir in a clockwise manner. All right, so here's my current wash. So that's what I want, that color. That's good for me. And now, let's see, where are the areas? So we're gonna start here on this side of her face. It's on the left side of the canvas, which is her right side. And I'm gonna start under the eye. There we go. It goes down like this. There we go. There we go. And now that I've got my blue there under her eye, on the side of her nose, we're going to bring some over here to this side of the nose. Oh, I got a lot of water there. Okay. There we go. All right, now we're going to bring a little bit of blue over to this area of our cheek. All right. And now we're going to bring some of this blue wash into her head scarf. So we're going to look at our scarf here. There are a few areas where we have this blue wash happening. I'm going to show you that now. Got some going up here, just like this. We got some under here. Let's make sure you can see what I'm doing. Just like this. All right, and we got some under here. And there's like more. Oh, you can't see me. Okay, all right. More over here. There we go. So that's our blue wash there. There's a little bit up here. Again, I kind of like messed that up a little bit with the brown. But we can fix it. So I'm going to try to angle this so you can see what I'm doing. For this, I'm going to take a little bit of white and add it to my blue. Actually pick up a little bit of blue paint too, the phthalo blue. It's a really nice blue color. Okay, now we added some white and some phthalo blue to make it a little thicker so that we could cover this brown area that shouldn't be over here. There we go. All right, that looks good. Okay, so the next step is we're gonna actually rinse this brush off and we're gonna use some pure phthalo blue. This piece progresses pretty quickly. Yeah, it's a pretty simple piece and kind of fun to make. So we're gonna add phthalo blue. Here's that here. We're gonna put some on the plate. Alrighty. Okay, so now we're adding the phthalo blue over here. There we go. Now we're adding some of this blue here. There we go. I'm gonna add some over here. There we go. We're going to move the camera so you guys can see the rest. Move it over there. And we're gonna fill in this area right here with this blue color. Also coming down this side. Oh, you can't see. There we go. Sort of. Okay, yeah. And now we're gonna bring it down. Bring it down this way. Curve over that way. There we go. Now we've got a little bit of blue as we go over here. There's a little bit of blue. So I'm gonna add that at the top of our scarf on the right side of the canvas. So I'm gonna do it this way. Comes over here, goes up there, and we fill it in with the blue. There we go. And we've got a little bit of more areas, a few more areas where this dark blue is. Just gonna go down and add those. So one of those areas is right here. There's like a dark blue streak. Then over here, where we left it a little bit open, there's some blue in here. There we go. All right. And then we have some areas here where there's going to be blue as well. Trying to place this correctly. There we go. We're going to close that. Put this over here. There we go. We'll add some blue up here. Turn the camera so you can see what I'm doing still. There we go. And I'm just kind of spraying the paint. Trying to use what's on the brush. It's starting to dry a little bit on me. All right. Now, on this side, I kind of missed it a little bit. Over here, there should actually be some of the blue wash. We're going to add this light blue color in. We're just going to add it in now. From the original, I missed this. Okay, there we go. There's that. We're going to add a light blue, just like this. There we go. Boom. All right, that looks good. And in this area too, we'll just add a little bit. You can't see it. Add a little bit here. There we go. Alrighty. So looks like we're good. I want to say, yeah, we're good with the blue here. All right. So now, before we do the black, which is like the next layer, we're actually going to add yellow in a couple spots. No, on second thought, let's do black first. Let's do black and then we'll do yellow last. Okay, so we're gonna rinse this brush out. It's got the blue on it. We're gonna rinse this out. We're gonna set this brush to the side. We're gonna pick up our large brush. Yeah, we're gonna pick up our large brush, why not? Put this on. Open this black paint up. black paint here. Gonna get a little bit because we're gonna create a wash. So I'll put that on my plate and add some water to it. If you want, you can add some white to this part. It actually could be helpful because we're kind of trying to get a gray wash here. So if you add some white to your black, you'll get gray automatically. Then you just add water to that, and you can get a really nice gray wash. All right, so I'm just gonna start with this. Oh, you can't see what I'm doing. Okay, so I got my gray wash. I'm starting in the upper right corner of the canvas here. There we go. All right, yeah, that looks good. All right, so I'm gonna dab that off, get a little bit more water, and try to bring this wash down, make it a little lighter as it runs into our earlier magenta wash. There we go. Alrighty, now I'm going to add some gray wash to the other side of the canvas over here in between the browns. I'm just going to pick some of this up. Get it in there. There we go. And in order to make it lighter, I'm just going to dab it off, pick up some water, dab it again, and then keep going. Oh, don't want it to run too much on me. Dab that off some more. Let's keep going. There we go. If it runs on you, it's okay. You can always dry it with paper towel, or catch it with a brush. You can dab your brush off and try to catch it, like how I'm doing here. Both of those are good options. All right, show you down here. So I'm gonna have some gray right above her shoulder, right by this brown tone here. There we go. So we got those washes down, and now we're gonna actually switch to the medium brush for the next step. We're gonna go straight into the black. And we're gonna paint right from the black right onto the canvas. And this step, I mean, you could leave it out because I'm just gonna be filling in part of the stencil. That's right in her head scarf here. I'm just gonna fill in this area, just make it a little darker. Alrighty, I got those areas. Now let's fill in this area here. Let's move the camera so you can see it a little better. Get some paint. Alrighty. There we go. Fill in these little areas here. Alright, that's good. Okay. So now we're going to start to fill in some small details on her eyes. So let me try to position you so that you can see both of them as I work. Okay, so we're just going to try to fill in some details on her eyes here. I think we're going to switch gears a little bit. We can actually continue to use the medium just for this next quick step, but then we're going to have to switch over to the small. All right, so we're just going to, for this quick step here, bring the iris down to the bottom here. And just kind of fill that in a little bit. There we go. And do that on the other side as well. Okay, there we go. And then over here, bring that over there. There we go. Alrighty. So we got the eyes looking a little bit better. We're gonna bring some of this black paint. We're actually gonna, there's a line over here on the side of her face on this side. We're gonna thicken that up a little bit using black. So we're just gonna start like this. Down here, just fill it in. There you go. This actually comes down here. There we go. We're gonna bring it over just a little bit on this side. I'm gonna angle you down so you can see what I'm doing. Alrighty. Now we're gonna bring some of this black into the neck in certain areas just to make the tone a bit richer. All right, we got some black there. I'm gonna bring it over here. Let me grab some more paint. All right, that's good. Now we're gonna bring some into this shoulder area as well over here. There we go. Just gonna add a little bit here as well. Move the camera so you can see what I'm doing. All right. Okay, so we're done with the black there. There are a couple areas around the nose where we kind of need to add a little bit more of the black, and even around like the bottom of the lip. So we're going to do that now. I am going to switch over, just for consistency's sake, to the small brush. This is my small brush. Yours may look a little bit different, but this is how mine looks. I'm going to get some black on there. There we go. There we go. Okay, so those are the fine details there. We're going to add a little bit of more black in the mouth area just to define the lip. So still using the small brush here. There we go. There we go. All right, and from here, we can actually rinse the small brush out, and we're going to pick up some white. So we're going to rinse this out. pick up some white paint. Again, mine is very dirty. Yours should be much cleaner. All right. And we're going to go back up to the eyes. There we go. And there's just a few areas here where we need to bring in some white paint. Just this will help the piece to pop. So there's some white coming around here. There we go. Right. And then there we go. There we go. I'm going to add a little bit of white into the eye itself. There we go. Gonna bring some white to the other side. There we go. All right. Now we're going to put some highlights in her eyes. So I'm just going to bring it in right here and then do that and do the same thing on the other side. Or very similar. There we go. Now what we're going to do is we're going to add a little bit of white to the teeth. Actually, I got to get a little bit more white over here. There we go. Now let's add some white to the teeth. There we go. Alright, there's a few more areas where we actually need blue wash, and I apologize for this, that I kind of missed those. But we need it in our lips and on this side of her face, and then we'll be done, I think. So let's get started with that. We're going to switch back to the medium brush. Pick up some blue. Actually, I'm going to mix up some light blue using the phthalo blue and white paint. So that's too thick. Need to water that up a little bit. Make it thinner. Okay. All right. That should work. Okay. So she has a little bit of a blue wash on this side of her face. Comes down just like this. All right, we've also got some of this blue on her lips. All right, we're going to bring a little bit down here. There we go. Let's see. Oh, we got to get that yellow. That's right. That's what we're missing. All right, so let's rinse this brush out. Now the yellow is going to be actually mixed with our gray from before. That gray wash that we had. We can actually mix some of the yellow with that because we need kind of a, it becomes kind of an ugly green color. So we take our yellow, as we have here, mix it with some of this gray that we have. All right, now we're gonna fill in. There's just a couple areas on the scarf that we've got to fill in. So we're gonna fill it right here, right in there, and then also up here. Oh, you can't see me. Okay, up here. There we go. And that is actually it for yellow. One more thing, one quick thing that we gotta do that I've neglected is there's some black that's supposed to go in this upper left corner. So we can use our medium brush, rinse it out first. Then we can go straight into the black. I'm gonna go from the paint container straight to the canvas. Scrape some of this out. And I'm just going to add this just right up here. Being careful not to cover the scarf. And I'm just going to add this, bring it down just a little bit. There we go. Alrighty. And with that, let's make this a little more uniform. Okay. Alrighty. With that, we are finished. Yeah. So this is a completed piece. Should be able to see this. So this is our completed piece. This is what it looks like. I'm pretty satisfied with how that came out. I think it's pretty neat, pretty clean looking. Hopefully you enjoyed painting this with me. Please like our Facebook page, visit our website, thepaintingvibe.com, and you can order kits. You can purchase a kit by itself. You can order a kit for your event. We do custom pieces, no additional charge. Yeah, so thank you for watching.